What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the fourth episode of the PlayTheVinyl Podcast. Earlier this week, I asked you guys, I wanted to see what some of your, favorite album picks of the year were, and we're gonna get into that. I'm gonna talk about what I've been listening to. Kind of dove into some of the recent releases that have come out, which is really cool. So let's get to it. First, let me just highlight what's been in rotation. Last week we had a lot of drops. It was actually the day that I recorded, so I didn't get to listen to all of them. However, I listened to a couple. I listened to the Baby Keem drop. I listened to the Saba drop, which was really cool. Here and there, some other stuff I probably just listened to once, some of the crappier stuff that came out. But in terms of, those two, I really liked what Saba came with. Saba kind of did his thing, specifically on one of the songs out of the two, which is the first one on that, Mrs. Whoever. I really liked that song, really liked his delivery. And then in the second song, Denzel Curry came with a great feature. Song had good energy. I think the first one is kind of more up Saba's alley, though. Had some great lyricism, some great flows. It was a really chill track. Personally, really liked it. Saba just did Saba. And second, my really second favorite, or actually no, my favorite single that came out over last week, over the weekend, was the Baby Keem pack that dropped. Not the Sons and Critics freestyle. The Sons and Critics freestyle. More so Hooligan. I really like that track. I think it's a fucking banger. After what Baby Keem's album that I still really enjoy, I think Baby Keem has a different flow, different approach to trap music than a lot of people do right now, which is really cool. He kind of breaks away from that Young Thug clone. Not that he doesn't have Young Thug influences, of course he does. He's a trap artist, but he breaks away from that, Lil Baby, Gunna type sound, and really does his own thing in a much grittier type way. I think he has great melodies, he has great flows, and this track Hooligan was no exception. Definitely sticky melodies, some great choruses that, a great chorus that'll get stuck in your head, some great, like I said, great flows that'll get stuck in your head, and it's really a great track. So, in terms of albums, I'm listening, which is going to be the next album I review, hopefully I get that written today, tomorrow, is the Jimi Hendrix Experience, Are You Experienced? Been listening to that a lot. Anything I have to say about that will be said in the next article, but it's a great fucking album. Blonde on Blonde, I listened to a little bit of Blonde on Blonde. Then just, Warren My Pen I have on here that I've been listening to. Mad Villainy, I have been listening to more so. I, kind of go through phases with Mad Villainy. I think I'm getting back into a Doom phase. I obviously reviewed it, American Head, by the Flaming Lips. Some of the Kabasa album that I reviewed, some Blood on the Tracks, and that's really it. Aside from Veteran and All My Heroes Are Cornballs, Die Lit. So that's what I've been up to. And of course the Sloughs and Malone release. I fucking love that shit. One of the most beautiful pieces of fucking art that we've gotten in a while. But, I took to Instagram, I asked some of you guys what your, some of your favorite projects were of the year. And, you guys gave me a lot of varied responses, which was pretty fucking cool. Let's see. To start off, we have Negro by Pink Sifu or The New Slousin'. I agree on you with The New Slousin'. Like I said, beautiful album. So, every detail is so planned out, is so matching to the tone of the album. And it's not just executed, it's executed in a beautiful way that makes some beautiful music. If you still have listened to that, what the fuck are you doing? go listen to it. It's fantastic. Second on this list, we have Miles as my favorite track of this year. Not favorite, well, favorite album of this year. I understand why people think it's the best, and I know a lot of people are like die-hard, huge Blue in Exile fans, and not that I don't think that they're great. I think that, you know, obviously Below the Heavens was a great album, but I think that like Miles was trying too hard to be a type of concept album. Not really. It's not that it was conscious. I mean, it was a conscious album, kind of, but not that it was like, you know, a whole concept in itself. I think blues rap, and I've said this before, blues rapping was kind of repetitive. You know, I obviously, like, if you read my reviews, I like when there's a continuation of a theme in an album. I like when there's a consistency. But that was too much because it wasn't just the theme of blue and being blue and, you know, blue this, blue that, being cool, whatever the hell he was saying. I haven't listened to that album in a while. It was, you know, I got that was the theme, which isn't, you know, I understand that's cool. But he kept directly referencing blue and being sad, and for that to be a 90-minute album of the same references, the same metaphors, the same type of similes, to me it just didn't, it wasn't it for me. It got a little boring. I think Exile's production was fantastic as usual. I can't name the exact songs, but there are some beats on there that I think about like every day. You know, in terms of jazz rap and really in terms of production in general, it's definitely one of the absolute like cleanest albums in production that we have had on an album in a while. In terms of that kind of boom bap jazz rap type stuff, but I can't say it's my top album of the year. And also, frankly, a lot of good albums have come out this year. 2020 has been a good year for rap, for underground rap, and has been a good year for music in general. So I don't think I could put that album over the Slauz and Malone project, or, you know, even fucking Punisher by Phoebe Bridgers. I love those two albums so much. I don't think I could put an album that got redundant for me in the top, you know, at that top spot. Not to say that you don't have your reasons. Not to say that anybody doesn't have everybody has, like, you know, anybody has an invalid reason. But I do think that's it set it back a bit. Next up, what do we have? Let me get back to this. Sawayama. I said interesting. I responded to this, but I've said that before. I think that this album was recommended to me, or it was this artist was in a hot take. Sawayama. That's just that type of pop music. I can't listen to it. I can't do it. It's so fucking just. It has no, in my opinion, it has no depth to it. It has no layers. Artistically, it's absent. And not to say that that artist specifically doesn't have artistic, or it doesn't, you know, execute her craft in an artistic way and doesn't think about it, and, you know, passionately. But to my ear, I don't hear the passion and the artistry that goes into it. I just can't get into that type of music. I think the hot take was Sawayama versus Charlie XCX. I can't get into either of them. I'm sorry, guys. I fucking go on Instagram. I see everyone's going crazy. So many people love Charlie. I just can't do it. I can't get into her. let's see. Next up, we have I haven't heard a lot, but from when I did, Vergen, yeah, the Slasm Alone project, another one. Yeah, this is essentially this. I feel like in terms of underground rap fans, is this or underground music fans, this is gonna take the W. You know, it kind of undisputedly. Like that album. That album is literal ear sex. It's so it's blended so well. It's just engineered and crafted to perfection. It's fucking beautiful. And a lot of people considered Slasm's last album to be, you know, number one of when did it come out? I think 2019, 2018. You know, it was like nothing is beating that. No, if something comes out this year that beats that album, like beat me in the head with a stick. That's how fucking good it is. Like if something comes out that is better than that album, I don't know if I'll be able to physically comprehend the album. It is so fucking good. It is so precise and so artistic, and so emotional. Like there aren't, you know, there aren't a lot of albums that are executed that well that have so much fucking emotion behind it. Really, really just a beautiful piece of work. The last comment I have here, which I didn't know how to respond to and I still don't know how to respond to, is Folklore. I can't tell if you're kidding or not. Because I can't find an enemy to listen to any Taylor Swift project. I'm sorry. Even if this one is a change and this one is, you know, like, wow, she really picked up her creativity, or she turned folk, or oh my god, it's not pop music. To me, like, I don't want to take that chance, and especially if it's gonna be Taylor Swift style, and it's like if she breaks out a fucking acoustic guitar and starts finger picking, and everyone's gonna lose their minds. Like, oh my god, Taylor is doing it. But like, I'm not gonna listen to it just because it's turned to a genre that I like, because Taylor is so fucking repetitive with her topics. I'm just gonna hear about fucking, you know, feminism and breakups. That I haven't heard anything from Taylor that isn't one of those two topics. Not to say that, you know, feminism or breakups aren't a valid topic in music, because they are, and I understand why people, you know, kind of, I understand why, first of all, women artists shift, like, have been making feminist music. Obviously, that makes sense, you know, use your outlet to uplift other people. But frankly, I can't understand, like, and again, breakup song, like, it's a love song. Love is, like, half of fucking music is about love. But I can't go into a Taylor Swift album listening to breakup songs and then feminism songs for 90 minutes or however fucking long it is, and that's solely it. I love acoustic guitar. It's not enough to get me to listen to an album. And from Taylor Swift's prior music, I don't think I can even get myself to listen to that album. How the woman got a Kendrick Lamar feature, what I will never that was Kendrick's, like, first real pop presence, was that, and what did he do, a Maroon 5 thing or something? But yo, just like, how, man? How? Where's Kanye at? Seriously. Oh, saddening. And for someone to have talent, for someone to be able to play instruments and to be able to write and to be able to produce, and especially she did it at such a young age, and then just to fucking turn so generic is just a waste. That's why I liked Phoebe Bridgers, like, her album, because although, yeah, you could say that that's borderline pop, there's a certain artistry there that makes it different. There's a certain ambiance and there's a certain aesthetic that makes it different than what other artists are doing. I mean, look at fucking what's her name, Billie Eilish. She made a pop album, but not that I'm like, I love that album. I really don't, and it won way too many Grammys, and like she's way too much of an industry plant. I mean, she has an okay voice, but it's like that whole album, the reason it did so well, and the reason that in like the underground community as well as the mainstream community, people liked it, is because it had a different creative approach to it. It had a different like aesthetic. It had, and it don't get me wrong, it's not an aesthetic that was just made. It's an aesthetic that has been evolving throughout, let's say, 2010 plus. We've heard on the radio, and we've heard how female artists voices like pop artists, and especially like anti-pop underground artists, their voices tend to shift to a similar tone and a similar pitch and a similar cadence, and it kind of all came together for Billie's album. And the reason it did so well is because she took a darker approach to things, and she, the aesthetics throughout the album were pretty cool, and they were different, and they weren't generic, and it was stuff that we hadn't heard before. I mean, as much as I hate the fucking single Bad Guy, it's like that beat, that approach, that delivery, we really haven't heard anything like that, in recent years, especially to reach the radio at least. So yeah, I mean, I'm not listening to Folklore. I can't do pop as it is, and I could barely do like fucking like emo white girl pop. I can't do fucking Taylor Swift, yo. Oh man. Album of the year. I hope that was a joke. Please, I beg of you, like, let it be Oh, and let's not skip over the fact that Freddie Gibbs and Big Sean are in the studio together. Don't want to skip that over. That's gonna be some fire shit. Yeah, I think that's really all I had to talk about today. I want to get an article out by tomorrow. I've been a little under the weather, so I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. Thank you all for listening to my rants and to my bullshit, but I'm happy that you guys are engaging. I love talking to you guys. Obviously, if I roast something that you put, like Folklore, it's not personal. I'm just doing it because I'm passionate about it. But that's that, and that's this music game that we play, yo. That, like, shit, it's all opinionated. It's all love, and it's all emotion. That's all the music is. It's emotion. So we obviously, we feel passionate about a music because it's emotion. But you know where to catch me on Instagram. I PlayTheVinyl with periods in it. Explains why before, but I'll do it again because some asshole took the regular name and probably isn't doing anything with it. Check out the blog, playthevinyl.com. Subscribe, leave a like, and y'all don't be afraid to message me and say what's up. All right, peace, guys.